You are creating reality, whether you intend to or not. This is not a matter of belief. This is not a philosophy you can choose to accept or reject. It is a mechanism, an automatic process woven into the very fabric of consciousness. Consciousness, every moment, your inner state impresses itself upon the field of infinite possibilities. The universe, the flawless mirror, is not a thinking being deciding your fate. It does not weigh morality, it does not choose favorites, it does not have a plan for you. It reflects back with perfect precision the frequency of your sustained assumptions. Whatever you hold to be true, whether in faith or in fear, becomes the pattern the mirror must project out. Look closely at the events in your life, the relationships that appear and vanish, the opportunities that open or close, the so-called coincidences that arrive in the exact moment you need them or in the moment you dread them most. None of these are accidents. They are the echoes of your inner state, returning to you with surgical accuracy. Human suffering, then, is not the punishment of a distant god or the cruelty of an uncaring universe. It is the result of unconscious creation. It is what happens when the projector runs on autopilot, playing reels you did not choose, built from fears you did not question, edited together from memories you never healed. The masses live this way without knowing it, moving through life as if they are victims of an external force, never realizing they are producing the very outcomes they suffer under. They wake each morning and step into yesterday's state of mind, unaware that by doing so they are selecting yesterday's future again and again. And yet, the mechanism has no bias. It is not locked in your past. At any moment, you can feed it a new pattern. At any moment, you can direct it with precision. But doing so requires a radical shift, a decision to take full responsibility for every detail of your experience. This is where most turn away, because once you understand this, there is no one left to blame. Not the government, not your parents, not the economy, the planets, or the gods. There is only the reflection, and the one holding the projector. The question is not whether this law is real, it is whether you will use it consciously. For the moment you do, the future stops being something you wait for and becomes something you select. To understand how to change your future, you must first understand the architecture of reality itself. You have been taught that the world is solid, that it operates on a single level, and that time is a straight path. These are simplifications, child's versions of the truth, designed to make existence seem manageable. The reality is layered. It begins with the first dimension, a single point, pure but without relationship to anything else. It is consciousness in its most dormant state, aware but unmoving. Add another point, and you have the second dimension, a line, a flat world of length and width, where existence is confined to surfaces. Imagine living your entire life on a sheet of paper, unable to conceive of above or below. The third dimension adds depth. This is the space you believe you live in exclusively, a world of height, width, and depth, experienced through the five senses. Here, events seem to follow one another in a sequence, bound by what you call time. And this is where the great deception takes root, in believing that time is a force instead of what it truly is, an arrangement. The fourth dimension is not science fiction. It is the true structure in which all of this exists. Here, past, present, and future do not follow one another like beads on a string. They coexist, side by side, in a vast field. From this vantage, your three-dimensional world is nothing more than a cross-section, a single slice of a much larger whole. You move through this dimension not with your body, but with your consciousness. and every human being has two ways of seeing. The first is the natural focus, what ancient texts call the carnal mind. It believes only in what the senses confirm. It looks at present circumstances and declares, "This is reality, and it cannot be changed." The second is the spiritual focus, the creative mind. It looks beyond the sensory world, through the veil, and sees infinite possibilities waiting to be chosen. This is not fantasy, it is not escapism, it is perception freed from the narrow lens of the senses. Most live and die in the first focus, never realizing they have the second, and yet the second is the only one that can truly alter reality. For the fourth dimension responds not to what you see, but to what you choose to see. The senses are powerful, but they are also the greatest deceivers. They are the narrow window through which you have been taught to view the world. And because their evidence feels so immediate, so undeniable, you have mistaken it for the whole truth. The problem is not that the senses lie. The problem is that they are incomplete. To live only by what you can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell is to live in a room with all the windows shut. You become convinced that what you perceive is all there is, never realizing that an entire world exists beyond the walls. This is what it means to be trapped in the carnal mind, the mind that insists on proof before belief, even though proof itself is only the shadow of belief. Imagine living in a dark cave, holding a small flashlight. You shine it on the stone walls, and all you see is rock.